Okay, then I need to push this button, right? And I press this one and ta-da! All right, so theoretically, you should now be seeing me instead of this little animation that I had going for a little while. Yes, and apparently so. All right, cool. Lose the pen? Well, maybe tuck it in here. Hello everybody and welcome to the very first episode of Throwlicious live here from the Spin Central studio in Düsseldorf, Germany. My name is Andreas Nie, and last time when I had a pilot session I forgot to introduce myself, which I've done now. All right, cool. So for today I have a couple of topics for you. First I will do some news items, just a couple of things I stumbled across. And then I will look at some general accessories I have right over there. Next up, I have some unboxings for you, and these are kind of themed, let's put it that way, because they're all coming from the same store. And wrapping up the show, I will actually talk to the guy behind not only the store but the yo-yo and everything else, namely Mr. Tony Alonso. You already heard him in the background as we were setting things up. So that's gonna be an exciting, half hour, 45 minutes, let's say. Let's see. Okay, let me see if I can kick off with the news section. And I need to scooch over here so that I don't get squished by the graphics. All right, so first news item is kind of a sad thing actually for me, or weird thing, or strange thing. Anyway, you may have known that Yo-Yo Factory is presented in Europe by Yo-Yo Factory Europe. Kind of makes sense. And I don't know, they've done that for a couple of years. There's a German distributor for toys named Fun for Life, I believe. And they asked Yo-Yo Factory some years ago if they could distribute their yo-yos, their products in Europe, and they reached an agreement where this company was actually setting up a subsidiary called Yo-Yo Factory Europe, and they would handle all the business, distributing the yo-yos in Europe and everything. And they even had a team, and you might have seen the video of that team a little while ago. Well, now Yo-Yo Factory has decided to buy back this company, so to speak, so that they will have full control over everything Yo-Yo Factory worldwide, so to speak. The European team has been accepted into the contest team, and they're now part of the whole Yo-Yo Factory team family, so to speak. And for the time being, Vasek from Prague, from the Prague shop Slusny, however you pronounce that, will take over some of the distribution thingies in the future for the time being, and until they figure out how to actually handle business in the future for Europe. Personally, I think this is a little bit sad, really. Or strange. Not really sad, but yeah. Too bad, maybe. Let's put it that way. Because Yo-Yo Factory Europe was actually the headquarters was in Cologne, so that's the town right next to Düsseldorf, which was really cool because then we could have a close relationship with them, and they would come over to contests and sponsor us. I'm running a little battle contest now for 2 years, and we had a pretty close relationship with Yo-Yo Factory Europe, and they sponsored us with yo-yos and etc. And now that they're being dissolved. I need to work out things how to work with Yo-Yo Factory now. I haven't talked to them yet, but you know, I guess they will be as welcome as Yo-Yo Factory Europe. It's just not the close proximity any longer. As far as I don't know, retailer support or team member support goes, I guess we'll have to see and wait how things will go and develop over as the time goes by. Anyway, oh, and for those of you who wonder, Yo-Yo Factory Europe was running a shop or a little store in at the German Masters, and for this year they will also do that, except it's not run by Yo-Yo Factory Europe, of course, but Vašek will come over and will take care of that. And for the upcoming years, well, we'll have to wait and see, I guess, how things are developing. All right, next up is One Drop News, and they have actually quite a lot of new colors going. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick for you. Alrighty, and the first one that they posted like a load of new colorways in the last couple of days of 4 models. I think that this one you see right now is the gradient. There are all sold by Yo-Yo Expert except one, which is the Crime Scene, which is kind of like the signature color of Yo-Yo Expert, I guess. Okay, next up, the Summits. Here also some exciting new colors. For example, the Ninja Hurdles looks really cool, I think. Again, pretty much, yeah, they're all sold by Yo-Yo Expert and they're all available already. So if you are interested in getting one of those bad boys, you can head over to Yo-Yo Expert right now. And looking at these now, those are the T1s, which is a collaboration Yo-Yo with Toxic String, right? Toxic String, and actually that's a Yo-Yo that goes for that has a good cause behind it, because some proceedings or some benefits will or parts of the revenue that is made by this will go to the owner of Toxic String, Evan Evans, because his son was diagnosed with diabetes, and that's where this name was coming from, T1. Yeah, so if you buy one of those yo-yos, it's actually for a good cause. You're doing a good thing there. They're all sold by Yo-Yo Expert again, except the nickel plated. This will be available more widely. They hadn't really said anything, any particular store as of right now, but look out for the different stores if you're interested in the nickel plated one. All right, next up, I saw that Magic Yo-Yo is actually coming out with a new series. They call it the K series, and seems like a wide range of different yo-yos, and they have kind of appears like hub stacks in different sizes and different forms. Like this one down here has like a small disc, I guess, and this one has a bigger clear disc, while this one only has like a cup thing. Where is that? Oh, right here. So seems like different hub stack kind of axle systems that you have here in the K series. They haven't really said anything about release dates, so I guess you have to look out for that at your favorite stores, or check out the Facebook pages of Magic Yo-Yo. All right. Speaking of Facebook page, Mr. Mike Montgomery has created a Facebook page for his Let's Play Yo-Yo series, and I try to pull up a little video here if I can, because he did post something. There it is. Kind of recorded off screen by himself. He's right now preparing episode 11 of Let's Play Yo-Yo, and if you've watched one of those Let's Plays, you know it's always great fun to see Mike getting at it again, trying a new trick, and sharing his thoughts on stuff. So definitely check out his YouTube channel, and also look at the Facebook page for Let's Play Yo-Yo. All right, and last but not least, I have Tyler Jurgensen's Yo-Yo show. I don't know if you've watched it. He's taken a break from producing shows on YouTube. Tyler is, tackling different topics for his show. I think it's like the 5th or 6th episode now. And this one is about binds. If I may go over here real quick, you can see he's checking different binds, and this one, for example, is a Chuck Haycock bind. So he's introducing different cool binds and talking about them, and even messing up some of them, which is really good to see. I mean, you always think those guys that do the tricks, they do wonders, and myself, I cannot do anything, but seeing somebody that can play actually mess up a little as well gives me confidence as well to keep trying on new tricks. So that's really refreshing, really cool. And he's also looking for new interview partners, and he gets his stuff set up now, so we can expect a lot more episodes hopefully from him in the future. So check out Tyler's YouTube page and channel for further episodes. All right, that wraps up the news section. How about that? And that gets me into the middle of the table. All right, and I grab all this stuff because it's general accessories time. Yes, during the pilot session I already said that for each and every episode I will have different topics to talk about, and this time it's actually accessories. I wonder. Oh yeah, right. Never mind. Okay, so what do I have for you? These thingies, all these thingies, those are the same. All right. Now, first of all, some general tools. Stuff that makes yo-yoing a little bit easier for all of us. And starting off, I have the Rhino tool here. I showed that already off in the little teaser trailer, and it's kind of like a multi-tool, except it's not the one that from Yo-Yo Factory. I will talk about that in a little bit minute, but still it serves different purposes. I can give you an ultra close look with this camera real quick if I switch this around. Yeah, all right, okay. There you, where is it? Ah, there you have it. There's the Rhino tool. Where is it? Oh, okay, I need to turn the camera around. All right, the Rhino tool. You can see why they call it the Rhino tool, because it looks kind of like a rhino, and it has different purposes, so to speak. up front here with this big horn, you can get knots out, and this little thingy down here will help you to remove axles. Now this hole here is sharpened so that you can cut strings, and with this thing you can remove bearings. And then there's this little opening here which makes you read MFD for monkey finger design. You can also use that as a key ring holder thingy. And this little extra horn here actually helps you to open bottles. Yep. It works. They have a video out there where you can see how they open bottles, and I've tried that as well. I've kept this on my keychain ever since I got it, basically, because I thought, you know, when I'm out there and yo-yoing everything, it's really handy to pick knots and everything. But I found that it's, you know, you can see it is rather short. So getting in there, getting between two yo-yo halves and getting really a string out is a little bit difficult with this one. So I found, you know, if they would have made it a little bit longer, it would have been a little bit more useful, so to speak. And that gets me to the next tool, which is this one. It's the one from Yo-Yo Board. You may have heard, you may have seen the yo-yo boards from Yo-Yo Board. It's a German company, and they've started producing yo-yo boards so that you can hang them. I will show one of them later because I have all the yo-yos that I want to show there on one of those boards. And they've developed this little tool, which is actually a little bit better for getting out knots, because you know, you have this longer handle, so you can really dig in between those two halves of a yo-yo and get out the knot. This one is actually the prototype that's made out of plastic, but the real deal, so to speak, is made out of aluminum, I guess, metal, and has some engravings and everything, and a hole for holding it on a key ring. And I do have one of those somewhere in my room. Couldn't find it. In fact, remember when I showed this off in the teaser trailer? Well, right after that, I lost this little thingy as well, and I was like, oh no, how could I do that? I need that in the show, you know. So yeah, my room gets a little bit messy sometime, and I lose track of stuff, so apologies for that, but you get the general idea. It looks basically the same, except it's in metal. Now, of course, I cannot have a section about general tools without the multi-tool from Yo-Yo Factory. You probably all know this already. It's a big plastic thingy that serves different purposes. You can adjust the halves, the width of the gap of what's it called, a loop 900, for example. With this tool, you can also remove bearings with it, with this side, and then there's a string cutting blade or section in between here. And yeah, so, and of course there's a holder or a little chain so that you can stick it or put it wherever you want it. Little nifty tool, and I guess pretty much every yo-yo has one of those, at least seen and probably use them every once in a while. All right. Now, last but not least is this stuff. It's called Buff. Again, from Monkey Finger Design. It's yo-yo polish, so to speak. They have a video out there that explains how to apply that, and you actually just, you know, stick a little bit on a cloth, and then you rub your yo-yo halves with that, and it makes your yo-yo shiny and just as brand new, so to speak. Really cool stuff, the Buff. Yeah. If you haven't, well, if you have lots of yo-yos and they kind of look dull and everything, you want to make them look brand new again, this is the stuff to get the Buff. All right, did I say last but not least? I have another thing here. Right, these things are kind of useless, I found out after I bought them. They are supposed to protect your fingers, yeah, from getting strings cutting into the fingers. So you put them on like these, like this, you know, and then you put the string on and it's supposed to protect your finger. Except I found out that these are so tight for my manly hands that they're cutting off my circulation of the fingers already by themselves. So instead of protecting my fingers from blood circulation being cut off, they actually enforce that themselves. So not really cool, I've thought. All right, so but they were cheap, so I don't really regret buying them. All right, so this is my little expedition, so to speak, in general yo-yo accessories. Next episode, I will look at some general cases and bags that are useful when you are out and about and just want to take your yo-yos with you. All right, and I will put all that stuff away. And we come to the next section, which is the unboxing part. Yay! All right, lots of boxes here. Oh, cool. See, I've got 3 boxes of yo-yos. Let's check the comments real quick. All right. Okay, 3 boxes, and they all contain yo-yos from Yo-Yo Community, which is a good thing because Tony Alonso from Yo-Yo Community will join us in a minute. But in order for me to have something to talk about with him, I decided to buy some yo-yos from him. In fact, I've done that before. I've just waited to open them just for you. All right, let's start with well, this one. How about it? They should contain so-called artistry series yo-yos of models you already know. You might already know. Okay, so here we have 3 yo-yos. Let's see. Okay, boxes indicate this one is a T1, this one is an Aftershock, and no other boxes. And this one is the Spectrum. I believe that's the lighted up blue edition. All right, cool. Let's see. Oh, this is the Aftershock. Cool. And this one should be the, yeah, T1. As you can see already, those are not your usual colorways. They are really different from what I've seen from other companies and other manufacturers that actually make some amazing colorways. As said, these are called artistry series, and that word was invented to make me look bad on television. Great, thanks. Anyway, so let's see. this is the one drop Valor right here, also artistry series, and a lighted up blue t-shirt. What's the deal with lighted up blue? I guess Tony can tell us a little bit more about it in a minute, but it is kind of a yearly event Yo-Yo Community pulls off to raise awareness for autism, and they actually raise money to help yo-yoers and yo-yoers with autism and yo-yoers that have children with autism. Really cool thing, especially, I mean, Tony knows all about it because his son Logan, I believe, has also autism. So yeah, it's, you know, he's from his personal experience, so to speak, it's close to his heart, this thing, and they do it each and every year, and it's a great thing to support the community and also get some really cool yo-yos. So check that out. Now, this yo-yo here is special in the sense that this one has just been released actually this Friday. Yes, today actually. It's the Koi, or rather it's supposed to be the Koi. Hope it is. Is it? I think it is, isn't it? Is that it? Oh no, he's shaking his head. It's not. No, it's not. It does say so. It's the Eternal Throw something. What is it called? Oh man, I'm so bad with those things. All right. Well, see, here's the thing. Here's this thing. I live in Germany. You guessed it already. And when you order stuff from the US, it takes a long time to reach. And as I said, the Koi was just released, so I arranged with Tony that he sends me one. But apparently the German post office and customer services and everything, they didn't want to release it on time. So instead I got this one, which I ordered after I had ordered the Koi, and it's the one from Eternal Throw. But nevertheless, this also is an artistry series yo-yo. All right, so that wraps up this surprise mystery unboxing, so to speak. Well, as soon as I get the Koi, I will make sure that I will show it to you. It should arrive any day now, I suppose, because this one, as I said, I did order afterwards or after the Koi was sent, but you know, you get the picture. All right, that wraps up the unboxing, and that gets me over to my guest for today, and that is Mr. Tony Alonso, and I will unmute him now, and you should be able to see him now. Hello, Mr. Alonso.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
I hope everybody can hear you fine.
I'm so sad you did not get the Koi. Oh.
It's weird, isn't it?
Sometimes you can get them there in just a few days, and sometimes it seems like it takes 2 or 3 weeks, and you're waiting and just So hopefully that comes in any day for you.
Yeah, it should. As said, it's on the way, so should be here any day. But all right, so I don't have the Koi right now, so you need to tell us all about it. How about it?
Sure. First of all, we're very excited. This is the first yo-yo that we teamed up with One Drop to create. So if anybody is familiar with One Drop, which if you know yo-yos, you should be, One Drop manufactures some amazing yo-yos. They manufacture Caribou Lodge, G Square, as well as their own. don't drop the yo-yos. um, so yeah, it's a really cool company, and they did all the manufacturing. Now, this yo-yo was built specifically for one of our team members called Odin Alberto Jr. He was runner-up for Rookie of the Year in 2012, voted on by yo-yoers. So that was a really exciting thing, and we wanted to make his signature yo-yo. And so it's called the Koi, and it's really a great, solid playing yo-yo. It's fast, it's nimble, it just flies through tricks, and it's probably the smoothest yo-yo we've ever created.
All right, sounds awesome. As I said, yeah, it's really too bad that I don't have it here with me. In the meantime, I pulled up like the other Artistry Series yo-yos that I have from Yo-Yo Community, and okay, before we go into the Koi again, maybe we can talk about the Artistry Series. Obviously, those are not just Yo-Yo Community yo-yos. I mean, the Spectrum is yours, right? That's your signature yo-yo.
Yep.
All right, and then I also have what, like the Summit, for example. There's a 54. That's actually my first Artistry Series that I had. There's a Triton, a Quake. We had the Aftershock, the T1. So a whole bunch of different companies, different manufacturers, different yo-yos, but mainly like One Drop. What was that? One Drop and your own and G Squared, right? Exactly, right?
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, what we wanted to do with the Artistry Series is we wanted to create something unique and something different. So we approached a bunch of different companies and asked them to send us their raw yo-yos. I found a gentleman that lives probably 2 or 3 miles down the road from me who does anodizing, but instead of just anodizing mass quantities, he is more of an artistic anodizer where he does very limited numbers, and he likes to do everyone individual and unique. And so what we decided to do was give him a bunch of yo-yos and say, have fun with them, create whatever you want, and let's make some really unique one-of-one yo-yos that we can share with all of our friends and fans and people who just love color on yo-yos. We started seeing a lot of yo-yos that just kept looking the same, and we saw that there was so much more that can be done with yo-yos. So that's why we decided to start the Artistry Series, so that we can create a really unique, awesome looking collection of yo-yos that are also collector's editions, because usually most of them it's a one of one. You can only find that color on that yo-yo model.
All right, and I'm just, as we speak, I'm going through some of the yo-yos in close-up mode, and to give an impression of what these yo-yos look like. They are available through yoyocommunity.com, right?
That's correct. Yep.
All right, because you know, we all kind of play different roles inside this community, this yo-yo scene, I suppose. You know, like players and team members, or you know, manufacturers, organizers of shows and competitions. Yeah, and you are actually filling all of those roles, right?
Trying to, yes.
Okay, so that means Yo-Yo Community, if you explain a little bit more about that, what that is all about.
Sure. Well, I'll actually give you probably an exclusive backstory that very few people have heard. Is that okay?
Ah, that's fine with me.
Okay. So this will be a first, because I don't know if I've ever really told everybody this. But Yo-Yo Community was never meant to be a store. We were never supposed to have our own signature yo-yos. that was not the goal of Yo-Yo Community when it first started out. We wanted to start Yo-Yo Community because we saw back in 2010 when we first got into it, like there was a couple of forums, but there wasn't a great community utilizing the new technology of social media. It was all forums, which is a very old style of communication. It still works, it's still fine. So what we wanted to do was create an all-in-one community utilizing social media, and also a place where you can come and not only learn new tricks, but learn who's who in yo-yoing, who the yo-yo legends are, where tricks came from, how to create your own style, and make one big massive community. That was what Yo-Yo Community was originally supposed to be, not actually a store. So what happened is that we kind of, through what our fans and friends that came upon it, we started merging into what people wanted from us. And that's how eventually the store came about. There's a lot more backstory to it, but we started merging into a store because the other certain companies and so forth didn't really want to get behind this all-in-one yo-yo community. So we kind of started up with these great ambitions on how we could be this all-inclusive, amazing community. And then when we had a lot of struggle getting people to jump on board that, people said, okay, well, can we buy a yo-yo from you? Can we do this? And then that's how we actually started slowly becoming a store, which was funny because that was not ever what we wanted to be or intended to be. It just kind of worked out that way. And it's just been an absolute blast, though, doing it and getting to meet people from all over the world. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, and then there's yo-yo community. You also have a team, right?
Yep. And so that's what we wanted to do that was different, because most stores don't have a team. And what our goal is for us, it's not about trying to be the biggest store. It's trying to make the biggest impact on people with yo-yos. So what we decided to do is we created a team, not of the best players, even though we do have a world champion on our team. John Narum is a 4A world champion, also I believe the youngest ever world champion. And but our goal is to find people who share yo-yoing at schools, at events, go to nursing homes, and spread yo-yo love to as many people as possible, getting yo-yoing out to as many people. And that's kind of why our team is a lot different. We still do contests, we still have fun with it, but it's not about winning, it's about getting as many people into yo-yoing as possible.
All right, one of your members is then Odin, and he got a signature yo-yo. So you're also doing signature yo-yos, obviously. This is the second one, right?
Yeah, well, technically it'll be the third one, if you count mine as one of them. I came out with the first one. I was kind of selfish. I wanted my own yo-yo. So the Spectrum was the first one that we came out with. Then our second team member is named Alex Whitney. He got a yo-yo called the Artifact, and that was our second one. It was a more limited release. And then I think there was only 40 of those ever made. And then Odin, this is our third yo-yo, is getting his. And the way we decided is that every one of our team members is going to get a signature yo-yo. So that's the cool thing about being on our team, is you get a signature yo-yo. But it all is in the order from which you join the team. So Alex Whitney was our first team member. He got the first one. And Odin was our second person to jump on board. He'll get our second one. And then Brian Melford is the one that's going to come up next year.
Oh, cool. I've followed Brian already on Facebook and saw some stuff of him on YouTube. So that's going to be an exciting yo-yo.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Now, we already talked about the store and everything, but the koi actually is a premiere for something new, something you haven't done before, which is sell through another store, right?
Yes, that's correct. Which is I love, because it's getting back to the roots of what Yo-Yo Community was supposed to be. Yo-Yo Community is supposed to be a place for all of us to come together. I've always held a thought process that we can do more as a group than we can do individually. And so if we all come together and work together, we can create a much bigger thing. I think that yo-yoing is great as far as, even though we have a small community, in other words, there's only, a few thousand of us yo-yoers. But I have always looked at the bigger picture. I would love it if yo-yoing on the street wasn't looked at like, what are you doing? It's something that everybody liked to do. It's like, oh, standing in line, let's yo-yo. Oh, you yo-yo too? Come on, let's all yo-yo. And it would be a lot of fun that way. So I've never been really so focused on competition. I haven't been so focused on, oh, well, let me outdo this person, or let me be bigger than this person. It's not been about that for us. It's been about trying to work together and grow yo-yoing to as many people as possible. And I've been having the opportunity to talk with JD, who owns Yo-Yo Best Buy, also a world champion.
All right.
And I've been chatting with him about this concept. Why can't we work together and see what we can do? And he's been really receptive of that and shares the same vision that working together will help us reach a lot more people and do a lot greater things. And it's really awesome to see that. So he's agreed to carry the koi, and a lot of people like it because you get high chewing type candy every order, free shipping in the United States. So he's got a great following. If you've ever heard of JD, seen JD, he is just an amazing person and has a real big heart for yo-yoing. And it's just, we couldn't be happier teaming up with him for this.
All right, sounds awesome. Yeah, I actually got some orders from Yo-Yo Best Buy as well, and I can confirm the Haichu
Yes.
goodies. So that's always fun to get from him.
Yeah.
All right, now we've covered a lot of stuff already, and time is running out. I could actually talk with you like forever and ever, because there are so many different aspects that you actually kind of represent inside of this whole community or scene, to separate those two terms. But one thing I want to cover real quick before I will let you go again is your show. You actually do a podcast, right, with your lovely wife, Cody?
Yep. Yeah, we've gotten 2 of them done so far. So
Right.
we've 2 episodes, and we were supposed to record the last one last night for episode number 3, but we fell asleep, to be honest. And that was it. Those that don't know, we have 5 kids with 1 on the way, so we're gonna have 6 kids. It gets a little exhausting after a while. So
It does.
sometimes we have these great plans. Our goal is not to have a certain date that we put them out. Basically, whenever we can, we want to do a show. And it's just been so much fun to do these shows and to talk about yo-yos. And to do it with my wife is really cool, because there's not a lot of girls who yo-yo out there. So it's really cool to get her perspective on yo-yoing and things that she sees. She's a little bit more, how can I say, how do I word this without getting in trouble? But she speaks her mind. She is not shy. If she loves something, she will tell you. If she hates something, she will tell you. And it's a really cool perspective. And a lot of people have really enjoyed the first 2 episodes, and we hope to keep putting them out.
Yeah, I enjoyed them as well. And one of the things you talked about, and that is the thing I want to touch with you real quick, is your perspective on worlds. And
Yes.
there was actually a whole show basically talking for about an hour, I guess. Yeah, right? Roughly
Yeah,
about an hour. And really interesting stuff, because you put some new perspective on things, I thought, because you actually are in the show business, so to speak, setting up lights and being a DJ and knowing how to put up a show, basically.
Yeah.
So you know about lights, about stages and backdrops and everything. So it was really cool to listen in on your perspective on things. But what I want to talk about right now is your take on the wild card system, because I remember that you and your wife had quite an argument going there whether or not that would make sense, right?
Yeah. Well, there's so many ways of looking at this. One, for those that don't know, I've ran the sound for Worlds in Orlando the last couple of years. And one of the things that were so daunting was that we would start at 10 a.m. in the morning and get done at almost 9, 10 o'clock at night, 12 hours straight, where you had no time to eat. If you had to use the restroom, you had to time it right, run across the hall, use the restroom, come back, keep going. And it was just exhausting to go 12 hours, 400 people competing, 1 minute prelims. So the world contest had to come up with a way to shorten that down. But the flip side of that, and what kind of made me concerned a little bit, is you have people flying from all over the world. You have people paying a lot of money. And then to get them to sit for 30 seconds in some side room to throw down a quick 30-second routine, I don't know. I felt like that was, you plan, you'd go all through all this training and spend all this money for 30 seconds in a side room. I don't know. I see where that helped. I see where that helped a lot with timing. I see how it wasn't as daunting and crazy. But part of the specialness of Worlds is being able to get on that stage with the people, the cameras, the lights, the backdrop, to get that experience. And last year I actually competed. I heard you competed this year, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's why I wanted to ask you about the wildcard system, because I actually didn't qualify and I had to go through the wildcard system, so I know firsthand how that was.
Yeah. So last year I actually got up on stage and I competed. It was kind of a last minute thing. I did horrible, but I got to get up on the world stage and I can say, hey, I competed at the World Yo-Yo Contest and I loved it. It was so much fun. But that's my only thoughts, is that, one, I just don't think you're giving justice to the players by putting them in some back room for 30 seconds to yo-yo. But I also understand the flip side of, you don't want to be there for 3 days while everybody does a preliminary routine for the judges' sake and everything else. And then another thing that actually really bothered me, which I hit on my podcast, why is Mickey doing a wild card? Hiroki Suzuki. He is a 3, 4, 5-time, 4-time world champion. Why does he have to go through the wild card? That makes no sense to me. And he ended up going all the way to finals, which was great. But I think there needs to be some tweaks done. Is there a right answer? I don't know.
Yeah, it
But
was actually, yeah. You mentioned it already. He was in the wild cards as well, and so was, for example, Jensen Kimmett as well.
yep.
I think I was number 12 or something, and Jensen was 6.
hmm
So I was basically in line with all those monsters of yo-yoing, and here I was not really knowing anything about yo-yoing, and actually I messed up so badly that well, uh, I guess you can look it up anyway, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter if I hide it. I placed last, so I'm like the world's worst 1A yo-yo player of 2014. And but it was
Well,
weird to actually see all those people being in line there with me as well. And I thought, I never have a chance to actually make it to the next round. But it was, on the other hand, nice to actually get involved with that, the whole spirit of Worlds, and being one of the players that tries at least to compete for the title. So for people like me that might not get a chance otherwise, or for those that didn't get a seat, that was probably a good chance to actually get in the swing of things. Because I remember that, I think Anne Connolly said it in one of her Facebook posts. She said, "Oh, now I have to go through the wildcard rounds because I can't make it to nationals or something like that." You
yeah.
know,
Yeah, it's and the problem in the United States, I feel like we have a real a problem with our seeds and everything in the United States, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but you have Worlds that is in August, and then our Nationals is 2 months later in October. To me, that makes no sense why you have Worlds in August, then just 2 months later you have Nationals, then you have your regional events, then you have your state events. It's completely backwards. It should be after Worlds, you should have a clean slate, and then you should start with your state, which United States, the 50 states, obviously, your state contest. Then we go into a regional contest. Then you should go into your national contest, and then you go into your, I guess, country regional, which ours is called Pan America now, which includes Canada, United States, I think Mexico, some of our islands, and maybe even South America. They may actually be involved in that too. And then that seeds into finals at Worlds. But the problem we have in the United States is that it's all completely backwards, where we have nationals, then regionals, then Pan America, then states. So I think I figured it out one time that if you go the seeding route and get seeded into all the contests, it would take you 4 years to get seeded into finals at Worlds if you did it state, regional, national, Pan America, Worlds.
Ah, okay.
And there's a lot of backwardsness that I'm hoping will get ironed out and fixed soon, because it's a really great concept, but we need some adjustment to happen there.
Yeah. Did you have seats last year?
Well, what happened is we were supposed to have the Pan American contest, which is kind of like our EYYC that you guys have. It's our version of the European Yo-Yo contest, and they call that the Pan American contest.
Yeah.
That was supposed to have been in May or June of this year, right before Worlds, and that was supposed to seed into finals. They canceled it like a month before the contest. I'm not 100% sure why. I guess it just wasn't getting the support and the finances to do the event. So we didn't actually have anybody seeded into finals this year from the United States. All the national contest gets seeded into semifinals.
Right.
So that's how it works. You either have semifinals, finals, or you have to then just go through the wild card.
All right. How was that handled last year or the years before with Worlds? Did they have a seeding system there as well?
Yep, but the seeding system was if you won the European Yo-Yo contest, you got seeded into finals. But if you won the United States national contest, you also got seeded into finals.
Oh.
And so that's why a lot of people were like, okay, well, I can win this huge contest in Europe, or the Asian Pacific, is it, contest? The big Asian contest.
Right.
I want to say it's Asian Pacific, but I don't remember. Those then seed into finals, but Germany could have a national contest, and that could seed into finals.
True.
And then it came down to, okay, well, which country deserves to get seeded into finals? Could a very small country that has maybe 20 yo-yoers, could they put on a contest and seed into finals? Well, would that be fair? Is the quality going to be the same level? And that's why they decided, okay, now national contests are going to seed into semifinals, and country regionals like the European Yo-Yo contest, like our new Pan American contest, those will now seed into finals. But that's not how it was last year and years before.
All right. Okay. So I guess there's a big room of improvements, and I know that for German Masters we will also talk about the seating system and how everything integrates with words and everything. So this is not a discussion that is limited to North America or the Americans or anything. This is a global thing, I guess. But on the other hand, it's a good thing that the different organizations talk about this kind of seeding mechanisms and how to align everything, so that in the end we all get to enjoy a more structured contest, I guess, right?
Yep, but I think we're heading in the right direction.
Right.
I think that it's great that Worlds is moving around. As sad as I was for it to leave Orlando, I live 7-8 minutes from where it was held. So I mean, I could take a bus, I could ride my bike there. But so it was great to have that. But I think it's better for yo-yoing that it got to go to Prague this year, that it'll get to go to Japan next year and then back to the United States. That's fantastic for yo-yoing. Having a group of individuals that are trying to make it better, I think, is going to be great for yo-yoing. We just got a new thing over in the United States called the National Yo-Yo League that is trying to make things better for yo-yoing in the United States and hopefully fixing a lot of those problems. It's been pretty rough, and there's been a lot of setbacks and a lot of confusion. But my goal is that that's the step in the future. That's what we need to do with yo-yoing. We've got to get everything wrapped up as a well-oiled machine, and then people are going to take it serious. Then we're going to get sponsors like Red Bull or Coca-Cola or stuff like that, just to start sponsoring yo-yoing. And that's when we're going to be able to do some really awesome things and maybe see yo-yoing on ESPN or big news channels. And that's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, Tony, I'm afraid, we can talk forever and ever. It's really cool talking with you.
Well, we could do this often. I'd love to come back and talk.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe we have to do a special edition.
There you go.
All right. Well, but for now, I'm going to wrap things up now. We've been running this show for roughly an hour now, so... yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to check back and well, first of all, check out yoyocommunity.com, and I believe this is yyc.com also is
That's
URL. Yeah. All right. Then you can also get the koi from Yo-Yo Best Buy, and maybe if you hurry up, you get it before I do. Mine is already on the way, so you better hurry up. They also come in great colors. Also keep the Yo-Yo community store close to your bookmarks, because they're constantly dropping these cool artistry series, and as Tony said already, they're oftentimes one of a kind, so you need to be quick on those very cool colors. I can actually recommend them because they really stand out in your collection. This wraps up today's episode, and next episode will be already next week, because then I'll be at the German Masters in Leipzig, and I will try to broadcast from there live, maybe even from the stage, and my guest for that show will be Markus Jumper Springer, so the yo-yoer known as Jumper. He's like a dinosaur in the German yo-yo scene, and it's really cool that he will be available for an interview, because he is not only a yo-yo player but also a judge. So we get to find out firsthand what it's like to win a competition, and what you need to do in order to win a competition. Competition is also the main theme of that show, so make sure to tune in then. I cannot promise you a specific hour right now, because that is dependent on when when I'm able to get on stage and do the recording. It will probably be in the afternoon German time, so that will be like really early in the morning or like during the night times for you guys. But you can also, as always, check out the recording after the show is done here on livestream.com, and also you can check out the recorded session later on YouTube. All right, that's it. My name is Andreas Nie. This is Throwlicious Live episode 1, and this is good night from me.